Step 3, relatively straightforward, but I didn't want to leave it out. I started it and I said, yeah, I want to make this a step-by-step thing. So step by step, wet sanding out the part. We've done all the cosmetic repair with CA. This is just a sand out. In this case, I'm using, I think, 220. Yeah, 220. I want to scuff this whole part up. The most important thing at this step is to radius all these edges. No sharp edges anywhere, no matter what. That edge has to be radiused. Everything has to be scuffed. There can be no shiny spots, especially in these little divots and areas. It's labor intensive for sure. But just look at the bright side. When you have the work done, you know it's not going to implode on you somewhere down the road. Hopefully. Everything is hopefully in the world of paint. There is no guarantee. Even the tiles came off the space shuttle, so I mean, what chance do we have? Think about it. Anyway, this is a step that whenever I've had somebody at the shop new to this, Larry was one of the ones, Glenn, or Vince, I think, spent a couple days doing this. And this is something you can pick up very, very quickly. Basically just labor. There's not much more to it. What you do is when you finish, you look around for a shiny spot. If there's any shiny spot left, you got to go back to work. It's the whole secret of life. Get this part scuffed up before we move on to step 4. And I'm really looking forward to, I hope when Vlad sees this video, I hope he may want to even take a ride over here to see that this red is matching before we do the rest of the parts, because that little thing on the can that says Honda Red has me a little... And red and yellow are the worst. If red is off by one molecule, you put the bike in the sun and you can see it. It's very frustrating, to say the least. Some colors you can get away with, but you're not going to get away with red and yellow that easily. Anyway, not to belabor this or make this a long video, this is kind of a short. Most important thing, get all the edges. Everything where there's a sharp edge is where paint will tend to crack as time goes by, years go by. And we're not doing this for the short haul. We're not doing this so... Yeah, if you're one of these guys, by the way, and there's nothing wrong with it, you lease a bike and you trade it in every 2 years or maybe every year. Or if you're flipping bikes like Luciano is, none of this matters. But when you're a keeper, I'm a keeper. I buy stuff, I work on it for a long time. And of course it's okay either way, but I like keeping, I don't like selling it. I guess just how I am, I don't know. But wanting nice things that are highly buffed, highly polished, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm the only one that wants them. I don't know. I've seen a lot of bikes where they like the rusty look and the, like Joe Roselli sent us some funny videos. The rusty look or the, I don't even know the right word to describe it. It's not for me. And that's the beautiful part of motorcycling that I think keeps it challenging for a whole lifetime is you can like dirt bikes, motocross bikes, you can have an eclectic taste in customs, turbos, Ducatis or Yamahas or MotoGP bikes, or you can think you're the world's fastest rider on the street or the world's slowest rider on the track or whatever you are, or it doesn't matter, there's room for all of us. And we can all have a lot of fun, or if you like Luciano, you just, you know, have 25 of each. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I know it's fun. I know there's room for everybody. Now, this is probably the shortest of the parts, because this I can do. Dry this off, wipe it down with Prep Sol 3-4 more times. And then we just have to wait for weather to paint. Now, we're not in a cycle of weather here where we can go outside and paint, and we don't have a spray booth. And to be honest, if you think you need high-tech equipment, we don't have anything. We have $9 Harbor Freight spray guns, and I'm not sure. the least expensive of everything seems to be fine. But the one thing you can't cheat is labor. If you try to do this, I saw, this is true, there's a video out on YouTube of a guy that painted a bike in 6 hours, an R1, and I thought, well, okay, you know, don't criticize anybody, but it takes me a lot longer than 6 hours. Now, what I'll do is when I go back, and I'll do it off camera, just wanted to show this. See, I can see a little shine up there. That's not acceptable. I missed the spot up here. Not acceptable. I want the whole thing to look, well, it's got to dry out. The whole thing's got to look like this, and we'll be good to go. And then we just have to wait for painting weather. And I'll get the other parts done off camera.